All right, if you've been in digital marketing for any length of time, you've heard the whispers. It's this one question that just keeps coming up, causing a ton of confusion and honestly costing businesses real money. We're talking about duplicate content. So, what's the real story here? Let's dive in and finally get some clarity.
And here it is, the big one, the question that keeps so many people up at night. Does Google actually slap your website with a penalty if it finds the same content in more than one spot? It's a myth that has shaped countless marketing strategies, for better or for worse. The answer, and this might actually surprise you, is a big fat no. There is no specific, punitive, duplicate content penalty that Google dishes out in the way most people seem to fear. But hold on, don't breathe that sigh of relief just yet, because the absence of a penalty doesn't mean you're out of the woods. The reality of how Google handles this situation is way more subtle, and in many ways, it's actually much more damaging to your business. Okay, so let's get this straight. The whole penalty thing, it's a total myth. But the real threat is what we're calling asset devaluation. You see, while Google isn't actively punishing your site, its process for dealing with duplicates can quietly, systematically devalue your most important digital content. It's like a silent drag on your visibility and your revenue. So, if it's not a penalty, what is Google doing? Well, the algorithm's approach isn't about punishment at all. It's about consolidation. But believe it or not, this seemingly innocent process is exactly where all the trouble starts. The fancy technical term for this is canonicalization. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful. But all it means is this. When Google finds a bunch of identical pages, it has to pick a winner. It chooses just one to be the canonical, the official version. That's the only one that makes it into the search results. All the others, they just get filtered out. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine Google is like a super organized corporate librarian. If she finds 10 copies of the exact same report just lying around, she's not going to throw them all in the trash, right? No way. She's going to pick one, stamp it as the official master file, and tell everyone, hey, use this one. That's pretty much exactly what Google's algorithm does. And that right there is the huge problem. You lose control. See, Google's algorithm is incredibly smart, but it's still just a machine. Its idea of the best version might be totally different from yours. It could pick a page with weird tracking codes or an old version or, and this is the scary one, it could pick a partner's syndicated copy over your original article. Now, this loss of control isn't some abstract, techie problem. Nope. It has real, tangible costs to your business. This is where we get to the bottom line, the stuff that really matters. So let's break down the 4 true costs of duplicate content. Yep, 4. 4 key ways this silent killer can completely sabotage your marketing performance, and you might not even know it's happening. So what are they? We're talking diluted authority, wasted crawl budget, keyword cannibalization, and last but not least, brand confusion and a poor user experience. Let's dive into that first one, diluted authority. Okay, first up, diluted authority. Think of it this way. In the world of SEO, links from other websites are like votes of confidence. They're gold. They build your page's power to rank. But when you have a bunch of duplicate pages, those precious votes get split up. So instead of having one really strong page that can dominate the rankings, you get a bunch of weak ones that can't compete. There's a great quote from SEO expert Hamlet Batista that just nails this. He said, "Consolidating duplicate content is not about avoiding Google penalties, it is about building links. It's a strategic play to build power, not just avoid punishment." All right, number 2 is a big one, wasted crawl budget. Search engines, they don't have unlimited time to browse your site. They've got a budget for how much they can crawl. So every single second they spend looking at a redundant duplicate page is a second they're not spending finding your brand new product launch or your latest big announcement. It literally slows down how fast your important stuff gets seen. And number 3, oh man, this one's a classic, keyword cannibalization. It's exactly what it sounds like. You have multiple pages all trying to rank for the same keyword. You're basically forcing your own content to fight against itself in the search results. It is the definition of shooting yourself in the foot, marketing-wise. And finally, number 4 is all about your customer. It's brand confusion. When a user lands on one version of your content and then another user finds a slightly different version, it's just messy. They might see old pricing or a call to action that doesn't work anymore. That instantly erodes trust and, you guessed it, costs you sales. Okay, so that's the bad news. I know, it's a lot.
But the good news? You can absolutely fix this. So now we're going to shift from talking about the problem to talking about the solution. Here is your simple 3-step action plan to get that authority back and regain control. The plan is beautifully simple, but it's powerful. First, audit. You got to get a full picture of just how big the problem is. Second, implement. That means using the right technical tool for the job. And third, set policy. This is all about putting rules in place so this mess doesn't happen all over again. Okay, so for that implementation step, you've basically got 2 main tools in your toolbox, the 301 redirect and the canonical tag. A 301 redirect is a command. It's like a drill sergeant yelling, "This page is gone, go over there." It permanently sends everyone, users and search engines, to the new page. A canonical tag, on the other hand, is more of a suggestion. It's a quiet hit to search engines saying, hey, there are a few versions of this, but this one over here is the one you should pay attention to. Users can still visit all the pages, but Google knows which one to rank. Knowing when to use which is absolutely crucial. And now for setting policy. This is especially important if you let other websites republish your content. There is one golden rule, and you have to stick to it. Any partner who uses your work must put a canonical tag on their version, and that tag must point back to the original article on your website. Seriously, write this into your contracts. Make it non-negotiable. This is how you make sure you keep all the SEO juice you worked so hard to earn.
So let's wrap this all up. For years, we've been worried about some mythical duplicate content penalty. But that's totally missing the point. The real game here isn't about avoiding a penalty. It's about taking back control. It's about being the master of your own digital assets, consolidating your authority, and making absolutely sure that when your brand speaks, it's your best, most powerful voice that gets heard.